Nikola Tesla Personal Life and Character Appearance. Tesla was 6 feet 2 inches, 1.88 meters, tall and weighed 142 pounds, 64 kilograms, with almost no weight variance from 1888 to about 1926. His appearance was described by newspaper editor Arthur Brisbane as almost the tallest, almost the thinnest, and certainly the most serious man who goes to Delmonico's regularly. He was an elegant, stylish figure in New York City, meticulous in his grooming, clothing, and regimented in his daily activities, an appearance he maintained so as to further his business relationships. He was also described as having light eyes, very big hands, and remarkably big thumbs. Eidetic memory. Tesla read many works, memorizing complete books, and supposedly possessed a photographic memory. He was a polyglot, speaking 8 languages: Serbo-Croatian, Czech, English, French, German, Hungarian, Italian, and Latin. Tesla related in his autobiography that he experienced detailed moments of inspiration. During his early life, Tesla was repeatedly stricken with illness. Blinding flashes of light would appear before his eyes, often accompanied by visions. Often, the visions were linked to a word or idea he might have come across. At other times they provided the solution to a particular problem he had encountered. Just by hearing the name of an item, he could envision it in realistic detail. Tesla visualized an invention in his mind with extreme precision, including all dimensions, before moving to the construction stage, a technique sometimes known as picture thinking. He typically did not make drawings by hand but worked from memory. Beginning in his childhood, Tesla had frequent flashbacks to events that had happened previously in his life. He noted in his autobiography that this affliction had developed his powers of observation and enabled him to discover truth of great importance, namely that every thought he conceived was suggested by an external impression. Tesla further wrote that deficient observation was merely a form of ignorance and responsible for the many morbid notions and foolish ideas prevailing. Relationships. Tesla studying Hindu and Vedic philosophy for a number of years. Tesla later wrote an article titled, Man's Greatest Achievement, using Sanskrit terms akasha and prana to describe the relationship between matter and energy. In the late 1920s, Tesla befriended George Sylvester Viereck, a poet, writer, mystic, and later, a Nazi propagandist. Tesla occasionally attended dinner parties held by Viereck and his wife. Tesla could be harsh at times and openly expressed disgust for overweight people, such as when he fired a secretary because of her weight. He was quick to criticize clothing. On several occasions, Tesla directed a subordinate to go home and change her dress. When Thomas Edison died, in 1931, Tesla contributed the only negative opinion to the New York Times, buried in an extensive coverage of Edison's life. He had no hobby, cared for no sort of amusement of any kind, and lived in utter disregard of the most elementary rules of hygiene. His method was inefficient in the extreme, for an immense ground had to be covered to get anything at all unless blind chance intervened, and, at first, I was almost a sorry witness of his doings, knowing that just a little theory and calculation would have saved him 90% of the labor. But he had a veritable contempt for book learning and mathematical knowledge, trusting himself entirely to his inventor's instinct and practical American sense. Sleep habits. Tesla claimed never to sleep more than 2 hours per night. However, he did admit to dozing from time to time to recharge his batteries. During his second year of study at Graz, Tesla developed a passionate proficiency for billiards, chess, and card playing, sometimes spending more than 48 hours in a stretch at a gaming table. On one occasion at his laboratory, Tesla worked for a period of 84 hours without rest. Kenneth Sweezy, a journalist whom Tesla had befriended, confirmed that Tesla rarely slept. Sweezy recalled one morning when Tesla called him at 3 a.m. I was sleeping in my room like one dead. Suddenly, the telephone ring awakened me. Tesla spoke animatedly, with pauses, as he work. Ed. out a problem, comparing one theory to another, commenting, and when he felt he had arrived at the solution, he suddenly closed the telephone. Work and dining habits. Tesla worked every day from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., or later, with dinner at exactly 8:10 p.m., at Delmonico's restaurant and later the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Tesla then telephoned his dinner order to the headwaiter, who also could be the only one to serve him. The meal was required to be ready at 8 o'clock. He dined alone, except on the rare occasions when he would give a dinner to a group to meet his social obligations. Tesla then resumed his work, often until 3 a.m. For exercise, Tesla walked between 8 and 10 miles, 13 and 16 kilometers, per day. He curled his toes 100 times for each foot every night, saying that it stimulated his brain cells. In an interview with newspaper editor Arthur Brisbane, Tesla said that he did not believe in telepathy, stating, "Suppose I made up my mind to murder you," he said, "in a second you would know it." Now, isn't that wonderful? By what process does the mind get at all this? In the same interview, Tesla said that he believed that all fundamental laws could be reduced to one. Tesla became a vegetarian in his later years, living on only milk, bread, honey, and vegetable juices.